that we're going to have. So it said, so I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of the Most High. Again, that word name, man. Right? Now are they crowned and receive palms. And I said unto the angel, What young person is this? Is it that crowneth them and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of the Most High, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. Any precepts?
Just a quick one, because you're talking about, you mentioned the white hair. This is Wisdom of Solomon 4 and verse 9. Now let me read from verse 8. For honourable age is not that which standeth in length of time, nor that is measured by number of years. But wisdom is the grey hair unto men, and an unspotted life is old age. So my thought was that the reason why how she had the white hair when John saw him at the Isle of Patmos is that it represented wisdom. But if I'm mistaken in that we'll be seen in the chariots or regular hair. Yeah. But also remember how the Most High was sitting on his throne, white hair.
What was the question? Did you have any questions? So you know about the Israelites? You know about the Israelites? Last one country. I always ask that because I always ask this. What part of Africa? Uganda. Yeah. The Israelites. There's a lot of tribes in Kenya. Bantu tribes. Yes. Israelites. 100%. You have Hamites in Kenya too, like the Maasai. Yeah. The Maasai are Hamites. They're like warriors in that. But they're Hamite, they're Ham. You're not related to them.
Where are they?
I can't put down everyone here. Because I do. There's not enough space. There's not enough space.
Everybody belongs to one. Everybody comes from one. We all come from one.
On earth.
Yeah.
No. This is the 12 tribes.
All the 12 tribes.
Yeah, the 12 sons of Jacob.
And I thought that's where we all come from.
As Israelites. Yeah, of course. But to everybody on earth. Jacob came from the line of Shem. You understand that, right? So he came from that lineage. Shem was one of the sons of Noah.
Okay, bro. No, it's coming back.
Right? Yeah, I don't know when you're ready now?
Right, so this talks about Ham, one of the three sons of Noah. We had Shem, Ham, and Japheth. This is the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, right? And it says Ham. It says the youngest son of Noah, born about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes.
What? Not the Negroes?
Yeah. But the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites.
So the Bible scholars, they understand it. They understand that Ham was one of the 8 souls that survived the flood. And he was the progenitor of all the dark races, but not the Negroes. So that says a lot. So that we are of a different descent. The Negroes were they that were colonized and were enslaved. buy this off a white man. So the Bible scholars know that we're not like these other dark skinned races. So what's that Salaki? Fucking good. Give me your 2nd Ezra 5 verse 23. 5 verse 23. So when you go to like the Maasai or the South Sudanese, the Dinka, the Ethiopian, and the Somalis, those are Hamites. Those are not our people. The people of Chad, they're not our people.
Check the battery just in case. The battery's okay. Yes, fine. It's okay. I know what. Oh, but you know. I just want to skip down.
Within the continent of Africa, there's many diverse ethnicities. Whereas the Bantus, those are Israelites. Those are 100% Israelites. Now my dad's dad is Nigerian. And the tribe in Nigeria is called Igbo, which are related to Igbo. When I went there, I was speaking with some of them at a hotel, at this table, and we were just relaxing, chilling, whatever. And I told them that they're Israelites, and they lead in with the Israelites, without me having to prove anything to them. So anyway, come on.
2nd Ezra 5, chapter 5, verse 23, it says, and said, O Lord, that bearest rule of every wood of the earth, and of all the trees thereof, thou hast chosen me only one vine. And of all the lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen me one pit.
Right, of all the lands of the earth, the Most High has one pit. What's the Most High's favorite land? What's the Most High's favorite land? The land of Israel. Read that again from the top.
2nd Ezra 5 and 23 again. And said, O Lord, that bearest rule of every wood of the earth, and of all the trees thereof,
Right.
thou hast chosen me only one vine.
So what's the Most High's favorite tree?
How shall I define it?
What's the Most High's favorite tree? What's the Heavenly Father's favorite tree? This type of tree. The fir tree, you have the willow tree, the chestnut tree. What's the Most High's favorite tree?
Fig tree.
The olive tree. The olive tree is the Heavenly Father's favorite tree.
And his favorite flower.
We're going to go into it.
Right, verse 24.
Read it again.
Right, verse 23. 2nd Ezra 5:23 again. And said, O Lord, that bearest rule of every wood of the earth, and of all the trees thereof,
And all the trees thereof,
thou hast chosen me only one vine.
one only vine. Which is what? The olive tree. Come on now.
And of all the lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen me one pit.
Well, what proves that? Hold on, Salaki. Don't think that I'm really speaking. Yeah. Salaki. In Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 21. Yet I had planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed. How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? Right? Now this is Jeremiah 11 verse 16. The Lord called thy name a green olive tree, fair and of goodly fruit. With the noise of a great tumult, he have kindled fire upon it, and the branches of it are broken. And the Lord destroyed us as a people. Right? He sent the other nations to destroy us, to burn down our temple, to lead us away as captives. So that shows you that the Lord's favorite vine is the olive tree. Okay?
Right, verse 24. And of all the lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen me only one pit.
This is the land of Israel. Come on, fine.
And of all the flowers thereof, one lily.
The Most High's favorite flower is the lily. Come on.
And of all the depths of the sea, thou hast filled me one river.
Read it loud and slowly.
And of all the depths of the sea, thou hast filled me only one river.
So when you go into Genesis now, there were 4 great rivers. What's the name of them?
Euphrates,
Tigris.
Pronounce it wrong.
Pishon. Pishon. What was Pishon? Where was Pishon? Where's that located?
River Nile. It's not Nile.
Nile is Gihon.
That's the, yeah.
That's another name for the Nile. That's Gihon. Pishon inhabits the whole land of Havilah, which is Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia. Right? Another name for Tigris is what? No.
River Nile. No. The great something. Great.
The Ezekiel.
Oh, okay.
Ezekiel River. Because Ezekiel and Tigris, Ezekiel or...
What's the first letter? Ezekiel. What's the first letter? Oh, H. Ezekiel.
Yeah. In fact, I've got it on there. Where Genesis? Genesis. Go on.
Right, Genesis 2, starting at verse 10. And the river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became into 4 heads.
Okay, read that again.
Genesis 2 and verse 10 again. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden. From thence it was parted and became into 4 heads.
So what river was that came out of Eden? What's the Most High's favorite river? No.
Oh, not Nile. What was it? Jordan.
Yes.
It's like that. They was blank.
Most High's favorite river is Jordan. The River Jordan. Jordan. That's where John John the Baptist was baptizing people in River Jordan.
That's like no one is going.
Right, River Jordan. So read it again, read it.
Right, Genesis 2 and 10 again.
2 and 10.
And the river went out of Idan to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and it came into 4 heads.
4 heads. So there's 4 great rivers. Come on.
The name of the first is Pison,
Pison, come on.
and that is it which encompasseth the whole land of Havilah where there is gold.
So Pison, that Pison, right? Yeah, that's right. Havilah where there's gold. You look at Havilah, that's Saudi Arabia. That's Saudi Arabia. Come on.
And the gold of that land is good, and there is bdellium and the onyx stone.
Come on.
And the name of the second river is Gihon.
Gihon. The second river is Gihon. Come on.
The same is that which compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia.
Ethiopia. What river is that? What great river is that? The Nile. The River Nile. You don't know about that? Come on.
And the name of the third river is Hiddekel.
Hiddekel. The third river is Hiddekel. Come on.
That is it which goeth towards the east of Assyria.
The east of Assyria. so that's Hiddekel. Another name for Hiddekel is what? Tigris. The Tigris River. Come on.
And the fourth river is Euphrates.
Is what?
And the fourth river is Euphrates.
Come on. And if it's just dried up right now, that's a fulfillment of prophecy. That the way of the kings maybe brought in, showing you that what? That's a third world war. During that time when the Euphrates is dried up, that's when the way of the kings be brought together. That's in Revelations, man. Come on.
And the fourth river is Euphrates, and the Lord Yahweh took the man and put him into the garden of Edom to dress it.
Yeah, the garden is talking about the Middle East. The Middle East, the Garden of Eden. Eden is talking about the whole earth, and we had the Garden of Eden, which is the Fertile Crescent, the Middle East. That's where all great civilizations came from. Nepal, the Chaldees, Babylonia, Mesopotamia. All great civilizations all began there, in that region there. Come on now. I'm trying to, there's other ones there, but I can't remember them. There's other cities, great cities that were built there. What's that one? It's in Joel went to prophecy. Jonah. Nineveh is one of them. Nineveh is an ancient. Come on.
Back in Genesis 2 and verse 16. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest eat freely, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in that day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die.
Yeah, exactly. Meaning the knowledge of evil, man. Can't eat. Because you had other nations there. You had other nations on earth at the time that were worshipping their idols. They said, you may not eat of the tree of evil, because if you eat of it, you shall surely die. Now when you go to Deuteronomy, it said, when you break these commandments, you're gonna die, man. It said on Deuteronomy 32, choose life. Right?
And these so-called Christians believe it's the actual apple you're biting into.
It's not that. It's going on.
You know?
It's not. Right. That's really. It says Deuteronomy chapter 30 verse 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil. Meaning what? The Lord has given us the commandments. The Lord's statutes and commandments to follow. And if we choose to not follow the statutes and commandments and start worshipping idols, that's evil and that's death. So in the beginning there, you had that. You had other idols being worshipped. And then you had this wisdom, the commandments, man. And that's why the Most High said, don't eat of the ways of the other nations there, for you shall surely die. Come on now, let's read this video. Come on.
So like in Genesis.
Yeah, Genesis.
Right, so it says, Quran, you know? And the Lord Yahweh said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make and help meet for him.
Read that again.
Genesis 2 and 18. And the Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone.
Right?
I will make and help meet for him.
Who's that?
Woman.
A woman.
Something you all need, right?
Right? Come on. We're gonna read some more.
And out of the ground, the Lord power formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air. And look at it. Right, Genesis 2 and 19. And out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them.
Right?
And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof.
Right?
And Adam gave names to all cattle and to the fowl of the air and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found an help meet for him.
So Adam, so the same way the so-called white man, he has labels for all the animals, Adam had that power. That's why they make movies about Dr. Doolittle. He had power over the animals. That's the power that Adam had once upon a time, right? Come on now.
Verse 21, Genesis 2 and 21. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof.
Right, stop, read that again.
Genesis 2 and 21 again. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh thereof.
Now, what does that mean? He said, so read that again.
Genesis 2 and 21 again. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof.
Right, so I'm trying to find that scripture. It talks about woman is the hill. The Judith were told. Yes, look it. It's Tobit chapter 8, verse 6. Thou madest Adam and gavest him Eve, his wife, for an helper and stay. Of them came mankind. Thou hast said, it is not good that man should be alone. Let us make unto him an aid like unto himself. That's what a woman is there for. She's an aid. She's a helper. Right? But then when you go into it, it says the Lord caused a deep sleep to fall upon him. You know, the Most High put a trance upon him to make him see in a vision what woman he would have. Because the Christians are making you think that the Lord performed the operation on him and gave him an anesthetic and put him to sleep and removed the rib out of him and formed Eve. That's not true. When it said, when you read down, it said, thou bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. And he took a woman of his family line. That's what that means. Don't read some up and read that again, because
Genesis 2 and 21 again. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof.
What verse?
2 and 21.
Now, come on.
And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man made he a woman and brought her unto Adam, the man.
It's 23, yep. 28. Yeah, 28 and 11. Yes, lucky. This is Genesis 28, verse 11. Then you saw verse 10. And Jacob went out from Beersheba and went towards Haran. And he lighted upon a certain place and tarried there all night, because the sun was set. And he took of the stones of that place and put them for his pillows, and lay down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of the Most High ascending and descending on it. So when he said that he put him in a dream,
He caused a deep sleep to fall upon
a
him.
deep sleep to fall upon him, he said that Jacob took the 6 stones for his pillows and he went into a sleep. And the Most High put him in a trance. So he would actually see the multitude of his descendants like the stars of heaven. So going to, when we read about Adam, the Most High put him in a sleep. So he would see his womanism. So lucky, this is now, I've got this is lined up. So lucky. I'll read on from verse 20.
Right. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man made he a woman and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh, and she shall be called woman because she was taken out of man.
Right. Yeah, we read Genesis 29, verse 14. Start from verse 12. The point is in verse 14.
Genesis 29, starting at verse 12, says,
Be loud and slow.
And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother, and that
Read that again.
right, Genesis 29 and 12 again. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother,
Right.
and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father.
Right.
And it came to pass, when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob's sister's son,
Right.
that he ran to meet him, and embraced him, and kissed him, and brought. Sorry, I read that wrong. Let me put that. When he heard the tidings of Jacob, his sister's son, that he ran to meet him and embraced him, and kissed him, and brought him into the house, and he told Laban all these things.
Right.
And Laban said to him, Surely thou art bone of my thou art of my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month.
Read that last verse again.
And Laban said unto him, Surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month.
So there you go. Now my bone and my flesh. That when you say of your child, that's your flesh and your bones. You're my blood, you're my flesh and my blood. You're of my family, man. You're of my bloodline. You're of me. So just like in Genesis, where it said that it's my bone and my flesh, she was taken on his family.
In America, they have some, I'm not England, but in America they say, oh, that is my Eve, or that is my rib. I refer to them as their woman, you know?
You know? So let's go back to Genesis. So read that last part again.
Chapter 2.
Yeah.
Genesis 2 and
21.
21, yeah. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his